What's up, y'all? Quincy, principal designer, design manager, design director. We are on day 24. 24, man, 6 days of this. If you don't know already, I was laid off from my company, not my company. I was laid off from a company I worked for, the Wall Street Journal, back in November. Haven't been able to find work ever since. And I figured, let's go in a different direction. And I wanted to do something creative. So I'm challenging myself 30 days of redesigning. But redesigning what? Redesigning who? Redesigning the companies who have rejected my application. So yeah, it's you. And today we are redesigning JetBlue. Come on, JetBlue. I love JetBlue. I fly JetBlue. Have a great time during JetBlue. Comfortable seats and everything. But JetBlue, we are going to redesign some of your social media. And it's going to be a few different cards. So get into it with me. I'm ready. Let's do this. And we're going to take this today to Photoshop. All right, let's go. All right. So before we take it to Photoshop, I just want to go through some of their social cards with you guys. So we're on their LinkedIn page. And I mean, pretty standard photo cards, essentially. I mean, not photo, some pretty standard social cards. Happy Three Kings Day, Kwanzaa, Festival of Lights. So pretty just standard cards. Merry Christmas, Volunteer Day. You know, so this one is about their new plane, essentially. Here's one. Well, I'm going to get into one of these about the new plane. One of these, which is Vets in Blue, you know, just honoring our veterans that work for JetBlue. So we're going to redesign this also. We're going to take a plane out, essentially. So we're going to get into it. And there was another one on their actual, this page. So this is their Twitter page. I got dark mode enabled, essentially. Again, Kwanzaa, Festival of Lights. So here, I want to redesign one of these also. You know, I mean, listen, there's nothing terribly wrong from them at all. I just want to make them a little bit more interesting, essentially. And really, what I want to utilize is white space. I want to utilize white space. So you're going to see some things that you might not have seen before, you know, do on LinkedIn. And we're going to use LinkedIn as the frame, as the platform to do everything in. So it's going to be unique. It's going to be fun. You're going to see some cool things. You're going to see some bad things because anyway, I'm just going to go through it. But I'm ready. You guys ready? I'm ready. You guys ready? Let's go. Let's take it to Photoshop. All right. So now I'm in Photoshop. I'm going to bring in my reference image, something I'm going to do over, essentially. Have my frame. Going to duplicate my artboard. The reason I'm in Photoshop because I really want to edit the images and not do it. You can't do it in Illustrator like you do in Photoshop. In Photoshop, you pretty much do everything. So I have my text in here. Gonna go to Pexels, add some images, and I sped this part up really fast because I was on Pexels a very long time just looking for images, people hiking, landscape photos, pilots, anything I could find. I would just really just duplicate what they already have in that image. But I feel like I found a few here. So I'm going to bring them in right now. Pretty much the same photo that's on the right, essentially. Branch out. Now, I want to utilize white space a lot in this. And I'm going to make quite a few different edits and moves. I'm going to cut this beautiful couple out, just overlooking the mountain, sparse mountain, essentially. Maybe I should put it atop, behind them. But as I'm going through this, I realize that mountain in the back, oh my gosh, there's really nothing to look at. Nothing happening out there. So I'm going to put in my $79, essentially. I want that to really stand out in this and through this. So I put in this background inside of the 79 which is really a sunset on a beautiful beach, essentially. Making a drop shadow for the 79, gonna stroke it, outline it essentially. That sounded terrible, but outline it. I wanna make a gradient that goes from the left to the right too. And I believe, in the background they should be overlooking and looking at, something picturesque, something beautiful, essentially. I like where I put branched out at this very moment. I'm gonna create this gradient going from it started from the top to the bottom, but I'm gonna switch it around to go from the left to the right, essentially. There we go. Well, yep, there it is. So now it's going from left to right. I like the feel of it. I think it works for the space, essentially. But now I'm gonna create a shape. And this shape is going to be the shape of the background. It's gonna be over that cliff, essentially, what they're looking into. They're looking into this beautiful, picturesque sky, imagining what it could be like. So I'm gonna go grab JetBlue's logo, realizing I don't have their logo. I'm gonna go grab it, find a good version of it. I brought it into Photoshop, which I really shouldn't have done. Realizing that, I'm gonna bring it into Illustrator so I can get the OG original version, create a black version, and then create a white version also. So much easier to create vectors in Illustrator, of course, as everybody knows. So now I have them, exported them out, and I could bring that white one in here. And I like it. It looks great. Branch out, $79, but I'm not done. I think it could look a lot better, a lot cleaner, stand out a little more. So I'm gonna try some things. Put in the rest of the copy, fares from, and that's originally fares from $79 going one way. Seeing if I could leave that logo at the top or drop it down below. This is just the process we get to work things out, just deciding what to do, how to do it, where it should go. And now I created a different version of it. And there is white on top because now I want to utilize white space. And I knew I wanted to do this at the beginning, but I just wanted to get through one. So I'm going to bring that 79 up and that $sign up, essentially. Because on social media, especially on LinkedIn, there is no border around these images. So you can essentially, that white area where the text and the logo is, it essentially could run up all the way up there, seemingly like, but you need just to position everything the way it should be. And you'll see later on, as I get into it, as I bring in the layout, but you'll see it. So I'm putting copy, going to JetBlue's website to see what else I can create. Well, they're not their website, their Twitter. Back to their LinkedIn, of course. And it's really the focal point of what I'm really just designing for and using. So now I'm on their LinkedIn, looking through images, and this is one I want to create, which is honoring their veteran pilots. So I'm going to bring in the LinkedIn layout because that's what I'm going to use as my frame. And you'll see as me utilizing white space, I'm going to replace these images, Kwanzaa, Festival of Lights, with the actual artboard on what I'm creating. So you'll be able to see a seamless experience. I was thinking about maybe just recreating this whole top portion, putting the JetBlue logo in, putting in the words JetBlue, and really just having it there if I want to change things. But I'm going to decide against it because it's just too much work. So we're just going to literally just delete this, and we're going to copy the top, and we're going to copy the bottom also, because it's just easier to do. And I'm going through it. I'm just deciding, my God, this is too much. Trying to match everything up, trying to match colors up, trying to match the font weight up. Don't want to do that. It's just easier just to copy the top. There we go. Masking the top, copying it, masking the bottom, copying it. Going to create central, copy that background. And there it is. So now I have my space. Now I can do what I want, essentially. Now I have the top and I have the bottom, and I can move my artboard into the space. So you'll be able to see the seamless experience. Now, if you see right away, you see the white at the top. Gonna put some guides in. Perfect, look at that. It looks like that 79 is coming out. It's speaking to you. You know, it's right above, right below that text, essentially. So it almost looks like it's running into one another. So this is what I'm talking about, utilizing white space. Use white space to your advantage. If you have white space in social media, use it. And of course, we always want to create things that's going to align to the top and to the bottom, essentially. But why not use this to your advantage? And that's what we're doing, using it to our advantage. So now I'm looking for a pilot, and we're going to speed this pilot search up because it took a very long time for me to find a pilot. I was looking for a JetBlue pilot with the pixels, went to Google, found this amazing gentleman, but decided against it. So we're just looking through it, grabbing some stock images. And now we're back. We're going to bring this image, what we are referencing. They're vets in blue. We're going to put our reference image in. I'm going to move our artboard, which is our frame that we're utilizing, over. I'm going to bring in this gentleman. He's actually a JetBlue pilot. Hello, how you doing? Great to see you. Great to meet you. Masking you out. I'm going to put you in there. Like, hey, how you doing? Reminds me of Joey from Friends. Going to flip him around. There we go. Going to just cut a few things out of it. Vets in blue. This is what we're doing. Honoring our vets in blue. Going to make that blue. Going to change this background. Put in my reference image. I'm going to work out this text a little bit. Maybe I want it to be two-tone. Make a blue background. Again, we're utilizing that white space that's on top. For the vets in blue, put a little drop shadow behind it. Bring in JetBlue, their logo. Figuring what could I do? What should I do? So I'm going to try to make it two-tone. I'm going to cut the top out. And vets in blue. It looks weird. Definitely looks weird. I don't like it, but I'm just going to put the copy in. Make sure it's sentence case. So I'm going to work out this vets in blue. What do I want? What do I want to do? How should it essentially stand? But now the background, I want to make the background a little circular, almost like a swooping motion, essentially, in the back. So again, utilizing that white space. So that vets in blue will really just stand out a lot more, almost looking very intentional. There we go. And we got that yellow behind it because that's the colors that they're using, this blue and this yellow, to represent vets in blue. I'm going to take him out because wasn't feeling you. It didn't look as good as the image that they were utilizing. Going to bring in that little emblem that they have when we utilize this gentleman. He's a pilot. He was with his son. Hello, how you doing? Inspiring black pilot, love it. Gonna just move this copy around. Make November 13th bold, essentially. Work out vets in blue. And it's I like it. It's come together, put in their logo. I mean, it's different from what they have. It speaks a lot more than what they have. It's honoring that pilot a lot more because you spotlighting the pilot. And of course, they had the pilot below, but we're really just spotlighting him. So I'm going to put this in the space, and you're going to be able to see emerge that entire artboard. Look at that. It's seamless. See, utilizing white space, seamless experience that we're creating in social media. So it looks intentional. You know, it's almost like LinkedIn designs it itself, you know, that they did the job and, you know, we didn't do it. So seamless experience for LinkedIn. Now, I want to do something with this blue jet. I saw a social media post, as you're going to see in a second. I'm just going to cut this jet out. Took a second. Just fixing the edges, making sure they're pretty straight. I don't have to edit them again. You know, just do it once and you don't have to worry about it again. So, you know, it's almost like measure twice, cut once. All right, so I'm gonna duplicate this layout, bring in my plane. That looks good. I mean, shoot, at the beginning it already looked good. I could have just left it there. But no, we're not gonna leave it there because I have this idea. I want it to stand out. I want you to meet this plane. Again, utilizing the white space, put that JetBlue at the bottom. I'm going to make a hello sticker. You know, usually if you go somewhere new, you go into a new meeting place, whatever might have you, you have a hello sticker. Put it on your jacket coat or your pocket or something. So hello. And whoever created this, because it's on their social media feed, this hello, because they were introducing an airplane, a different colorway for the airplane, almost like sneakers, you know, different colorway. You name it differently. This one was named Blorica. It's dope. So hello, my plan right now, I'm going to change that, is Blorica, like Boricua, my Boricuas. Hola, mi Boricuas. Listen, I'm Spanish. I'm an honorary Puerto Rican. My best friend grew up next to was Puerto Rican, ate rice and beans pretty much every day. So, hello, my plan. I'm going to change this, my plane. I noticed my mistake. Going to put a little drop shadow behind it. Maybe it should an outline? No outline. So it should be a drop shadow, but I want that drop shadow to peek out to the left also. Right now it's dropping to the bottom right. So now it's just peeking out of the left too. And I like it. I'm gonna bold the Blorica. So I'm gonna extend my artboard down, create another post essentially, duplicated my artboard, gonna merge it together, shrink it to where it should be, position it. Oh my God, look at that space, man. Look, it's brilliant, beautiful, awesome, amazing. So I'm gonna create another layout. This is gonna be the final layout that I'm creating. And it was a partnership that they had between UBS Arena, JetBlue, UBS Arena, and the New York Islanders. It was a post that they had. So I'm gonna grab this building because I want this building to be peeking out. And I love they have a peak. It's almost like a lighthouse at the top. So it's a little peak that I wanted it to peek out of the top of the image, essentially. Here's that image, brought in Photoshop. Well, I'm already in Photoshop. There it is, peeking out like it, coming all the way to the top. And that's that post that I'm creating. And their post was pretty generic. It just had this blue background with the different logos and the text to copy on top of it. But we're going to make it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more bold, a little bit more of a statement so people could see it, understand it, get with it. Bring in that copy, I made it a gray, essentially, a dark gray. So it's readable, but gentle enough to be easy on the eyes. I'm going to work out something to peek out to the right. I'm trying to understand what should be peeking out to the right. Should be the whole New York? Should it be just Islanders? Going to move the logos down this to the right because I want it to be peeking out. I want that text at the top to be peeking out. So there we go. New York Islanders. Work out the space. This layout's okay. You know, I was struggling with the logos and the placement and what to do between them. I went back and looked at what they had previously, and they have these separators in between them. Should I keep this aesthetic? Should these be centered? Not too sure. Still working out. I mean, it's okay. This post is okay. Anyone would be able to live with it completely. I'm going to put it in its space where it should be, where it's going to go, essentially. Going to create more of the layout on the right, on the left. Put this post in. And again, it looks good. Anyone would be satisfied with it, but me, not satisfied. I think it could be better. I think it look better. I want to extend this layout, make it square, because that's what they have currently. It's a square layout, so it's 1080 by 1080 essentially. Put this building in gigantic, absolutely gigantic. So it really now just speaks. Going to bring these logos down, but there's missing something. The space needs to be filled up with something else. And why not? Islanders is such a brand. If I could put an Islander, an actual person in there, it would just make the space look so much better. But how should I put it in there? Not too sure. And this is the thought process that I'm going through as I'm just editing this text and lining everything up, you know, because the Islanders is speaking to me. UBS Arena, that's great. That's the facility that they use. But an actual player, seeing a player, identify the player, tremendous. I'm working out these logos again. I brought in the smart objects. Before they were just regular rasterized images. And if I shrink them, you know, they lose their pixels, clarity, essentially. So I was thinking about putting a sky in the background, and that's what I'm working on now. Maybe it should be a blue sky. Faded up, essentially. Fading into the white, because we're utilizing that white space. There we go. Gonna put it behind where I need to. Move my building over, well, down essentially, but I'm not satisfied. I'm gonna bring in a player. Not this guy because he was too small. This guy right here. Let's select him out. We cut him out. We copied him actually. Gonna make the background his background because I copied him. So essentially I still have that image behind him. So I'm going to fade this image up into white. So it literally looks like it's just fading up. And it just fits. It fits the space. Gonna just adjust the building. And I was like, let me desaturate the building. So the focus doesn't necessarily have to be on the building because the players' colors just stand out so much. And don't need so many colors going on with the building because the building does have so many colors. It has red, has blue, has green, has yellow, has every color. So let's just focus on what really we need to focus on is the player. UBS Arena, that's where the Islanders play. The Islanders, JetBlue, that's tremendous. And I like it so far. We're getting somewhere. Not necessarily satisfied where we're at right now, but we're getting somewhere. Gonna put this in the space, merge the frame, delete the previous one, move everything down. Look at that. Looks good. No, I'm realizing the text on top, the actual copy that's on the post, doesn't necessarily have to be there. Let's really utilize the entire space. So I'm going to make this text a lot bigger. I'm going to fade the background that's essentially on the where it says app. I'm going to fade that. So it's that space is going to be completely white. Essentially, going to move him over. Because now this post encompasses all of our messaging. Maybe I was trying to work out some colors, but let's just bold. We're going to leave it bolded. UBS Arena and the New York Islanders, and let every other color just speak for it. That's pretty good, but still not satisfied. Too much going on. There's an app, there's a logo behind it. Not satisfied. So we're going to put a gradient and really keep utilizing that space. We didn't edit that image a lot. We just added to it. Brought those logos down. That looks like a great post right here. Islanders play at UBS Arena. Now I'm thinking, why not put something orange back there? Almost like a sun, but oh my God, this looks tremendous. Right here, we can stop right here, we'd be good. But I'm just gonna move things around, make sure things are not encroaching on each other. I like it, this is perfect. This speaks to the space. And I'm pretty satisfied with it right now, where it is. This is awesome. Just editing just the space a little bit for each and every one of these because they were just off by 1 pixel. They were at 571. It should be at 570. But I'm looking at the space at the top now. I'm like, let me edit this because essentially you could put a message in here that would mimic what's being shown in the image. So Blorica, like Boricua, Blorica. I'm gonna just put my frame in. I just want it to be that layout, essentially. I mean, it's tremendous. So I'm putting that messaging in, and it's gonna say, hello, Blorica. Dope. Right now it says Blorica, but I'm like, let me just put the whole thing in. And you could actually do this. Someone could actually do this on a post. Now, that looks great. I mean, just so dope, man. So dope. Where we're at, I like each and every layout. We're utilizing white space a lot. And of course, JetBlue, you're not going to do this on a regular, but knowing that you have the ability to do this in any post, man, that makes your job a lot easier. Any designer who's doing this, you're welcome. I've helped you, pushed your job along, gave you a little bit more safety, job security. So this is dope, man. This is absolutely dope. I'm super proud of where we started and where we've gotten. And I'm really ready just to really just show it to you guys. So here we go. Let me show it to you guys.